Sorry, folks.
All that good info is wasted.
Sorry about that, folks. A little internet issue going on there.
This draft just got
Okay.
insane.
So what do we?
The Titans take a receiver now?
All right. So get me caught up here. So what did Houston take?
Yes.
Well,
Houston,
I guess
don't know.
I guess the ticker's going down there.
Oh my God, AJ Brown was just traded to the Eagles. I need another Eagles jersey. I got a Brown jersey already.
All right. So the Lions took James. I already knew that. Eagles took Jordan Davis. I was there for that. 14. I was here for Baltimore to Kyle Hamilton. So I did not see the Houston pick.
They didn't have one.
Oh, the Texans traded.
Oh,
They got Kenyon Green.
Yep.
That's right.
That's right.
I forget.
It's been insane since you
Yeah.
left. Commanders took Jawan
Hobson.
Yeah. Dotson.
Chargers took Zion Johnson.
And the trades that happened while we were off were
Hollywood to Arizona
for the 23rd pick. And then A.J. Brown was just traded to the Eagles for this pick.
Where'd Dotson go?
Washington.
Okay.
Man.
So
Who's the best receiver left right now then?
Burks,
Treylon Burks. They
Yep.
got to take Treylon Burks then, right?
Titans.
Yeah. I mean, they have
Okay,
no receivers
so-
now.
So what happened with the? Tell me about the Hollywood Brown deal.
That was just on the.
It just popped
They
up
didn't
that
talk about it or
Hollywood.
anything.
But what
They haven't talked
did
about
what
it.
did Arizona give up, or what do you call it?
23rd pick. So the Ravens pick 23 now.
And AJ Brown, we don't know what the whole deal with package with AJ Brown is, right?
Not yet.
Right there.
18.
And a 2020. Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Like nothing. I would take A.J. Brown for the 18.
You know what these are? These are all contract related.
Wow. How many teams are like, they got A.J. Brown for that? Why didn't we make a call? Take Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks.
What do you call it? Niners got to be thinking, why on earth did we not call them?
And Mike Vrabel said earlier in the offseason, AJ Brown's not available.
Yeah, he said, I love him.
Yeah, but you gotta say those types of things.
He was telling the truth though.
I don't think this necessarily is a wide receiver.
Take a quarterback, no
Pick it.
receivers to throw to.
There's receivers you can pick up. My God, Jarvis Landry's still available. I mean,
We
there's
don't care about Jarvis.
there's guys out there people could add.
They're out there for a reason, Eric.
Wow.
That one's surprising.
So I think A.J. Brown lost something this year, but Rashad Bateman gained something huge.
Yeah.
But speaking from my fantasy team aspect,
Spider-Man.
He's sad.
The 18th pick to the Tennessee Titans. With the 18th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Treylon Burks, wide receiver, Arkansas.
so now Tennessee has Burks and Woods.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
just
I
gonna.
forgot about him.
Is this gonna be like a trend now? Like when receivers' contracts come up, they don't want to pay them, so they just trade them away, and then draft like whoever the top rookies are.
Yep.
Like next time I want to raise at work, I'm just going to delete everything work related from my Twitter account. Wow. Saints are on the clock.
Like, he's their number one. Like walking in.
Could be.
Yep.
Woods isn't a number one receiver. And Marcus Johnson, I like him, but he's black to you.
Thank you to our U.S. Air Force service members and all those serving our great
I tried.
domestically.
You tried what?
I just reached out to Efren and to see if he wanted AJ Brown. He's like, no, he just got traded. Smart man.
Trevor Penning,
I mean, yeah.
Northern Iowa.
Well, that pick went to plan. From 6 to 19 did not.
So Pittsburgh is up. So do they take a quarterback?
Yes.
What other teams at the end of the draft coming up here would need a quarterback though?
I'm gonna turn this way. We are streaming again. Looks
Does it
like.
take like Jermaine Johnson? And
Okay,
see
so
who's
it's
taking
gotta be a
falls
quarterback
to him?
right here.
I think they take a quarterback. I
It's
don't
gotta
see.
be Pickett.
I don't see them riding out Trubisky.
I have a feeling Trubisky is going to be better than what people expect him to be. I think they don't go quarterback. Did you see that? The quarterback, he went to like play action, there's no one there.
I want to draft that quarterback.
Yeah. Pick's not in yet. What's going on?
I don't
Debating?
like this draft.
Are they debating who they're taking? Are they working a trade? Is someone coming up to get somebody?
I gotta move to the side because Eric moved his laptop, so I can't read the bottom of the screen anymore.
I can turn it. I just had it this way because you noticed that we were.
Oh, I can see it when it's turned sideways too.
Is it turned?
Turned.
Picks is in.
Picks is in.
It's gotta be. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
Yeah, because I mean,
It's gotta be Pickett. Not. I don't know. Having them show the family like that.
Yeah.
Switch to progressive and you can save hundreds. You know, like the sign says.
Packers trade up. It's like Kenny Pickett.
wow. What would Aaron Rodgers do?
He'd retire. So, fine.
Had enough of you
He'd,
people.
he'd delete the Packers from his Twitter. That's what professionals do, yo. What's Tennessee still got 26?
He'll pull up Ben Simmons.
They've just drafted LeBron James.
Hey, he was selected in our football draft once. Alright, I'm back, gentlemen. Tony.
Yay!
Alright. So I go upstairs and the whole world sets on fire.
Yep, that's what happened.
Apparently I gotta go upstairs again.
And Guy and I had to hold this down the entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you probably weren't even on air.
Nope.
Probably not. It's probably some of the best content ever done in this podcast.
Probably.
A friend of mine just texted me. He's like, "It's a bad night to be a receiver and have a last name Brown." Are there any other receivers in the league with last name Brown that could be traded today?
I'm sure there is.
Isn't there one for the Lions?
St.
St.
Brown.
Brown.
So, I mean,
So,
there's-
so
I'm
he's
on
kinda-
Raw. Same Brown.
He's kind of like a holy guy then, right?
he's Equinemius's brother.
I wanted to draft him just because of his name. I like saying it.
I had him on my team for a while and he wasn't doing anything, so I cut him.
And then
he started playing good.
I know when he got dropped, I almost picked him up, and I was like, I'm good out receiver. I don't need him.
Yeah, I gotta work on my patience with players.
Yeah.
I'm not very patient with like bench guys. Like nothing this week, gone.
That's how I was with AJ Dillon. I traded him for Tracer. Straight up.
I mean, you'll know for sure this year if that works out.
Yeah.
So Watson's the best receiver left, right?
It's debatable.
Sky Moore.
Yeah, and there's one other one I think.
I think they do it. I think they take a quarterback here. Trubisky is serviceable for 1 year, so Pickett or Willis can sit for a year.
Jermaine Johnson's still available, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wanted to pick a quarterback just to not have a quarterback go in the first round this year.
0 linebackers that were taken. Just 2 corners. And 1 safety. Which kickers have gone so far?
All of them.
They're too good to be drafted. They choose where they go. Here we
Here we
go.
Steal my players and now my words.
Franco. What was that little touch on the Goodell for?
Like, hurry up.
He's got the same hairline as you.
His is more impressive.
Like, hurry up, I gotta poop. I had one of those fiber bars earlier. It's really hit me.
It's Franco, man. Come on.
It's funny though.
He's a Steeler, though. Steelers are a bunch of wusses.
Come on, Muth.
Hello, Franco!
It's getting late in the draft. We're all getting loopy.
He went.
Boo!
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I want Franco Harris to announce every pick from now on. He's crying.
Yeah. My God, I'm gonna make so much money. Mitch Trubisky just took a paintball gun out to his TV. Pop, 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 pop.
I don't think he's got bad hair. I don't know what you guys were picking on his hair for. It's actually a good look.
That's what we were saying.
Trevor Lawrence.
You like the good-haired quarterbacks.
Well, the good thing
I
about
don't know. Look at Justin Herbert's hair. That's pretty
Until
impressive.
he shaved it, and then he sucked for a while.
I know.
So,
and now he grew it back. Now he's elite.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pick. And I will say this. I think he'll start at some point this year.
I think he pushes Trubisky for the starting job from day one.
Good.
And I wouldn't disagree with that either.
Except for his small hands. I think I don't like him because of that fake slide he pulled. That's all he's got. That was weak.
I think
Debo.
he's good. I think this is really cool for Pittsburgh.
Get a hometown guy.
You know, they passed on this back in '83 with Marino.
Overrated.
That one right there, that's why I don't like him.
Because he did that? I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of smart. I don't know. I disagree with... I mean, unless you're saying from a... It's not... That was kind
Bush
of...
League.
But we all kind of thought Pittsburgh would take a quarterback here. So.
Yeah.
And I think he's the better choice.
Kansas City is on the clock. Kansas
What?
City has just moved up.
Who are they taking here?
Watson. I mean, they almost have to. I mean, if
Either him
they want a receiver,
Yeah.
if they really want to, unless it's Jermaine Johnson,
It's either Johnson or Watson, I think.
but they have to get in front of Green Bay because Green Bay would probably take Watson here at
Yeah.
22.
I'll take Watson. Oh man, please be Watson. I mean,
That's who I have them
Yeah.
taking.
Hey, at least we know who Guy's not taking in the first round this year because he doesn't have one.
Oh,
You got a second, don't you?
Mhm.
Yeah, he's got a second.
I have a first round pick.
So I have two.
yeah,
I'm trying to get two.
I got a first round pick next year.
I got to shop AJ Brown a little bit because I don't like him in Eagles uniform.
Well, because you got to take it back seat to Devontae.
No, because he got Jalen Hurts throwing to him.
Don't show his fingers; they're gross. There's no cartilage. Like tentacles. Although I have heard that the Chiefs are into Sky more, but I like Watson better, personally.
Yeah, no question about it. I think when you look at Kenny Pickett, the hands out. I talked to Mark Whipple about that. Mark Whipple did a great job developing Kenny Pickett. Mark is the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator now at the Browns.
Sounds like your kind of music, Eric.
He said, "Where are the daggone gloves? Don't worry about it. Where are
Hair
the
metal?
Mark coached Ben Roethlisberger in 04 to 06. He was the
Whatever it is.
was the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mark
Disco.
was credited with the quick development of Ben Roethlisberger. Well, guess what? Ben was the youngest starting quarterback ever to win a Super Bowl, right? Youngest quarterback ever to go to a Super Bowl.
Mama did it for you.
Youngest ever win one was Ben Roethlisberger with Mark Whipple.
Even Dad's crying.
Mark Whipple
That's weird. All these players' moms are 5 years or so younger than we are.
He'll be 5 months,
She's
Yeah.
older than us.
5 months older than Jordan Love. He's one of
His parents look older than us. Come on.
Sam Darnold.
They gotta be at least in their mid 50s.
No, they're about our age.
Mark Whipple really helped this kid.
Yeah, we look old.
Failed as a Steeler. They took him out for Malik Willis. Malik Willis is the dual threat quarterback.
The Chiefs select Malik Willis.
Wow.
They looked at all these quarterbacks. They went with Kenny Pickett.
AJ Brown has got a $100 million deal.
Did he really?
Uh-huh. So this Philly signs him a $100 million deal.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
Miller went 26 that year. There's been another trade because, of course, there has been. There's been a night filled with those, and so the Kansas City Chiefs have moved up here to number 21. They've traded up with the New England Patriots. The Chiefs are a team, of course, that
That's not much.
No.
They have like 12 picks this year.
Yeah.
Many of those already go off the board, so we'll see. Again, the Chiefs had 2 first-round picks late in this round.
Plus, they still have their other first round.
Yep.
And here's the commissioner to announce.
This is a receiver.
Yeah.
The New England Patriots have traded the 21st pick to the Kansas City Chiefs.
They must have got both first round picks.
Nope.
Pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Kansas City Chiefs select Trent McDuffie, defensive back.
What?
He wouldn't have made it to their first pick, their 2 picks.
That's fine. I don't. One of the guys I wanted on the team. That
Right.
sucks.
So this has got to be a receiver spot.
Nope.
It's Green Bay. It won't be.
What was the deal? Did you see what the trade was?
Yeah. It was. They,
29 in the 3rd and 4th.
yep.
So they saw 30.
He made plays on the football. He's a guy diagnoses things very quickly.
I mean, they needed a corner, but
A guy that never shies away from
now someone's going to be Elam from Florida.
I think we'll look at the ball skills.
I like Booth more.
Translate to the field. Well, he had many opportunities, and they were able to move him around in coverage, line him up in a lot of different areas.
So Baltimore at 23.
His slot corner backs the hill with that
That's got to be defense. So you think?
Linebacker, probably.
Yeah.
right behind those elite corners. Up back there, Stingley.
I think that's where the Georgia linebacker comes in.
Which one?
Or Lloyd. Oh, Walker. He's also Walker.
Here with Gardner and Stingley Jr. He was right off that, but he was much higher than the next
Steen. Fight, Steen, fight.
Is it McDuffie's people or something?
Probably. He's taking a poop.
There it is.
I was thinking, wouldn't that be something? He decided to take a poop because he had too much queso. And then, oh, you just got drafted.
Speaking of, there's queso still available.
I'll probably be going up in a second.
God, just think of the named receivers that just got traded this year.
Yeah. And crazy.
I mean, Hill, Adams, both Browns. I mean, I guess you could say Marquise Brown isn't like
He's not in the tier with AJ Brown and
the other two I just named off, but I mean,
Hollywood Brown, Marquise Brown, AJ Brown, Shrimp Brown.
You really just did the same guy twice, right?
Two for
it's
one
two
trade.
receivers.
Oh.
Most of the time he's just Marquise Brown as he drops passes and isn't on the
Okay,
field.
so
A couple good plays he does, that's when he's Hollywood. Hollywood powers activate.
if this isn't Watson,
It's not.
Pickens,
Not a receiver.
Jermaine Johnson,
Could be.
Jermaine Johnson. It could be one of the linebackers.
Could, yeah. Is there
Uh,
a tackler or
they could go with the
offensive lineman?
center, Linder.
That's what I was thinking. They need some help there.
To replace Lindsley.
Yep.
Carl Loftus also. Yeah,
You're like, Aaron, who would you like us to pick? As long as one of these three receivers will be okay. Thanks for your input. We're taking a linebacker.
I mean, it wouldn't be horrible for him to take Booth or Elam here either. Well, hold on. Let's see the
Well, that's
division.
what
No,
they
you know
took
what?
last
Actually, divisional. If you look at their division, actually,
pass rusher.
corner isn't actually something that's a necessity in their division.
A run stopper or a quarterback.
You got Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but the problem is the whole division. I mean, you're not drafting to face one guy.
Like
I'm saying
what,
the
what
Bears
do the
don't.
Lions have now?
The-
Amon Sam and
Yeah, but you also got
Reynolds.
to take into consideration who's throwing to these guys too. I mean, it's not like they're going to blow you down the field.
Jared effing Goff.
heck yeah.
You got to worry about more containing the quarterback than anything. Linebacker.
Told you it wasn't a receiver.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers. What the?
I had him going in the first. I just didn't have him going here.
He's already removing Green Bay off his accounts.
Oh, he's
and,
Green Bay
It's
has
not a bad pick.
and he's going straight to Shaley again. And
Green Bay counteractively removed Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Twitter account.
This isn't a bad pick. Oh,
Baltimore.
Bills.
Bills on the what?
Stephen Diggs is now a Raven.
wow.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I mean, I just made that up.
Gabriel Davis, anybody? They trade Devin Singletary to the Ravens, and they take Bryce Hall here.
Josh Allen for Lamar Jackson.
Oh, they saw 25 too?
Or Zach Moss.
No, because they haven't switched him probably yet.
That would be insane.
That's going to probably turn into Buffalo or Baltimore's pick. So Buffalo wanted to get in front of Dallas for what?
Honestly, Buffalo needed a corner and a running back.
Yeah.
They didn't have to trade up to get a running back.
So Booth.
Booth, Elam,
2022 NFL Draft. Presented by
Willis. And what's Josh Allen done for him lately?
Samsung Galaxy S22 when they trade him again.
Watson.
Any year, any condition.
Deshaun, he plays in Cleveland.
That you've had for 12 years and loved every minute of, and traded in for something new that suits your life now. Immediate success.
Because Dallas, I could have saw Dallas. I mean, I could see Dallas considering a receiver Or you go.
Dallas isn't
I
gonna
guess
take
you
a
could also go
receiver.
Pickens.
Will they go up to move up to grab Pickens?
Actually, you know what? There is a lineman left that could go here. Ryman.
I think he's going to be a second or third round pick. He's got injury concerns now too. Failed physicals for a couple teams. Huh.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
It all started because I had to go
I want to know.
upstairs.
I want to know the trade details.
You know what? This could be Jermaine Johnson as well.
They changed 25 back to Baltimore. Yeah, because what's his name is starting to get older.
Not Houston. What was it? What's his name? He's been there for so long too. No, but I don't think he's even technically under their contract right now. I think he's a free agent.
You get a smile on your face.
Justin.
Only for my mom.
That's not what I'm thinking of.
And earn double pan coins with any omelet purchase.
What if you were a global energy company?
Can't remember their lineman either.
In Scotland, technologists in India, and customers all on different systems. You need to pull it together.
So it's got to be something they had to get in front of they had to get in front of Dallas for. So things Dallas were considering were offensive line, defensive line, for sure.
New ways to unlock energy around the world. Let's create a hybrid cloud that can change an industry.
Well, originally I had Buffalo taking a running back here.
So did I.
They're not going to move up in front of Dallas to take a running back.
A losing one. Indeed you do. And
They
it
have
doesn't make it
Greg
very
Rousseau,
well.
Shaq Lawson, Carl Basham, Jordan Phillips, Espinoza. Well, I guess they actually could use a defensive end.
I mean, have Jermaine Johnson fall this far
That's got to be who they're trading up for.
Yeah, that's the only logical.
because Dallas would immediately.
But the
turn
way
and
this
pick on
draft
that.
is
Yeah, 'cause
gone,
they don't have Gregory.
who knows?
I think it's got to be Johnson. That makes sense now because Dallas may have, with Johnson falling this far, Dallas may have taken him to replace Gregory.
Yep.
Pick is in, people.
We're entertainment. Because we got white hot.
What people have the pick in them?
So hopefully someone's watching us at this point because I know we went. We've had apparently some internet issues. I see we're still streaming here, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
Speaking of streaming,
Oh, I gotta go Pizza Hut draft moment here.
oh great.
That was actually shocking to me. I didn't expect Drake London to go that high. That's the first receiver taken.
So just so everyone knows, when the first round is fully done, we'll sit here, we'll break down some of the little fancy aspects of these individuals in general and for our own league. Where could we see these people going in the draft? Our draft, that is. The most important of all drafts. The AFL draft.
And honestly, even though I'm an owner of A.J. Brown in this so-called league, I'm not a big fan of any of the wide receiver landing spots. Except for Garrett Wilson, which I know I won't get unless I take him 2 overall, and that's not happening. Awavle was the big guy, but he went to New Orleans. They don't have anybody to throw to him. I don't.
What if Dennis would trade for A.J. Brown? He get the 5th overall pick.
But like I said, I don't like where any of the receivers went.
Actually, you know who you should reach out to if you want to reach out to anyone? Well, I guess never mind, 'cause he's not going to keep Jalen Hurts probably. Let's say Anthony.
I'm not trading anything to Anthony.
Good point.
Wow, they didn't trade hardly anything move up.
It's only 2 spots. They gained a 4th round out of it,
Yeah.
so if Baltimore wasn't too worried about something.
Well, Baltimore's moved back twice now.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously they don't value any of these players. They just want to move back.
Bruce Smith made it to the draft.
All right.
The Baltimore Ravens have traded the 23rd pick to the Buffalo Bills.
So Jermaine Johnson, I'm guessing.
That's my guess.
Third pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Buffalo Bills select Khair Elam,
cornerback.
Corner. Huh? I'm okay with that. That's what I was saying. Like they needed running back and corner. That's the one. That's the corner I preferred. And the who was
I
there?
would've- If I was a Bills fan, I would prefer Booth, but individual, I guess, thought process.
I don't mind the Bills. I like another team.
I said a guy I used to work with Amway texted me and said Olave bust. Disagree. Star.
I actually think I like I've said many times, I like Olave better than Wilson. But if you look at pure landing spot, I like Wilson better. Wilson's got somebody to throw to him. And I'm not real high on Zach Wilson yet. Our next stream, both Eric and I might be wearing Jets jerseys.
Won't be here that fast.
That's what losers do.
You didn't know what number the guy's going to pick. If I get Garrett Wilson's jersey, it won't be till probably August. He didn't even pick his number yet. I'm not going to order the one that just says number 1 on it.
No, they'll have them before the draft.
For our draft, yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, our next stream is going to be the keeper.
Oh, that's
announcement.
right.
And hopefully we'll have other streams mixed in. I did get a New Jersey today, though.
You did.
So Dallas is taking their time here.
Probably trying to trade down now.
Yeah. I mean, all the people that I thought they would take are gone.
Yeah. Is that Linderbaum still around?
Yeah, Linderbaum's still there.
Linderbaum and Ryman.
I don't think Ryman's...
I think, I think at this point,
Ryman's going to be picked.
you're
right
going to hear
around
me pretty much,
Spiller.
I think from here on out, you're going to hear me say Jermaine Johnson until he's picked.
Thibodeau.
How did you...
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, that's right. Tua Tagovailoa.
Oh, the Raven.
Smith.
Our cat just showed up.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Lee Smith. Oh, they're showing up. Mel's best available. We got Jermaine Johnson, Daxton Hill, Malik Willis, Arnold, Abikitidia, and Tyre Lee.
How do you get that out of that word? Adding just like Scrabble and just taking a handful and adding it onto the name. Just sound it out.
Oh. Anyways. There he is.
Eric's brother.
That wasn't Chris. Those guys are pumped. Oh my god, could they be any more mad?
There was a 1% chance he'd be available right now.
Huh?
1% chance he'd be available right now.
I'm surprised they haven't picked it yet, to be honest with you. There it is.
Wow.
What on earth?
Special fans right there.
That's a Cowboy fan for you.
Maybe he put his hat on straight.
He raided Cam Newton's closet before he came here.
Well, the pick is in.
About time.
I am surprised they took this long.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could actually see this being a linebacker too. like an inside.
It's because that offensive line has been dominant. So I can see a variety of different directions they could consider.
Dean seems like a good pick here, don't you think? Jermaine Johnson. Like I said, I would say
It's
him
got to
next.
be Jermaine Johnson until.
I don't know anymore. Like,
I mean, what team doesn't want another defense?
The Coy Walker coming up that early did surprise me. I'd say of all
There's
these.
been too many surprises. In
No,
this draft.
I'll say this. Overall, though, that's the biggest surprise that he went up that far.
They had Randy Gregory. They had Marcus Morris. Now Randy Gregory's gone. But Jermaine Johnson is sitting there for the pick. Only thing that's, a lot of the wide receivers.
I mean, I guess Dotson to Washington at 16, maybe that came up way higher than I thought, too. But that might have had to do more with the climate than with all the receivers going. They just didn't want to. And Watson actually is falling.
I don't think Watson's really.
I don't think he's falling. I expect him to be maybe
Late
the
first
end of the
round,
first.
early
Well, I had him
first.
going
Or
at
second.
22. I think I had him going at 22.
I didn't even have him going in the first.
Oh.
Me either.
So here we go. Pick is in.
2022 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Tyler Smith, tackle Tulsa.
They go back to the offensive line. Started 23 games, allowed just 2 sacks and 7
Um,
total.
Didn't you have him at the end of the first?
5'3",
Maybe.
24 at the combine now.
I don't.
I had a
remember.
feeling they were going offensive line here, with all the health problems that they've
Yeah.
had. But it is shocking that
All right, so Baltimore's up. They're going defense for sure. The question is it going to be Jermaine Johnson? Is it going to be a linebacker? Or it could even be Andre Booth?
I think it's either Jermaine Johnson or line.
What did I say?
Andre.
Oh.
I think it's a linebacker or Johnson. Hands down.
Good thing you're saying charter anyone's draft. You don't know who you end up with.
Can you imagine if I had to actually announce the NFL draft picks? If I got selected? What was that I was watching the other day, and they had a thing where they had Michael Buffer. It was back when he was announcing it was a match in WCW, and it was Bret Hart. And he announced him. So Bret Hart, I mean, do you know who Bret Hart is?
Yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
He announced him as Bret the Hitman Clark.
I've seen that.
I mean, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, and he completely screwed his name up.
Jermaine Johnson. Thibodeau.
Jermaine Johnson, because you put him on the other side of Campbell, plus Campbell's getting old, so then you got Campbell's. Jeez.
Not a Ravens.
Apparently, we're going to commercial.
If Mark, Mr. Cartoon Machado didn't have the fighting spirit to draw his pass,
All right, so who's after this? So then Tennessee's up at 26,
if he let a lack of
and then
Tampa.
would have started tattooing using a homemade.
What if Tampa takes a running back?
I actually think the next 3 picks will all be defense. I guess I shouldn't say that because what if? Well, they took a receiver at.
I mean, Tennessee could still take a quarterback there too.
Yeah. Baltimore's got to be defense, though. Baltimore's got to be defense. Tennessee, I think Tampa could be defense. The slight possibility of a running back.
They work continuously, so you don't have to.
Well, think about it. So you just lost Ronald Jones, and Fournette.
Forever connected by love.
Did you really lose Ronald Jones?
Representing the connection we share. This mother's
Well, the running back situation isn't the most stable. I mean, Fournette, when healthy, obviously was a huge. But the problem is he got hurt.
They did bring back Gio Bernard.
Yeah, but that guy's older than Keenan Allen, and Keenan Allen's 50.
How does Keenan Allen gain 10 years every time you bring up his name? Better than any frickin' Dolphins receiver you have.
So you'd rather have
Sean
Keenan
Vaughn.
Allen over Tyreek Hill?
Yes. Because Tyreek Hill is a former Chief, and I don't deal with them.
So if he would have got traded to the Chargers, you would have been upset about getting Tyreek Hill.
I would have boycotted, I would have denounced my Chargers fandom until Tyreek was off the roster.
Wow. Let's see.
What?
And it's not-
Zac Efron is in the new...
Plays the dad.
Well, if they want to sell tickets. I mean, you put Zac
It's a
Efron.
Stephen King movie.
Many have said that Zac Efron was actually going to be the replacement, the next version of Justin Timberlake. Someone said that. Someone wise and smart.
You?
Yeah, I did say that.
Can you explain to me how he's the next Justin Timberlake?
Have you seen the High School Musical movies?
No.
Unfortunately, yes.
I've seen all three, and including one I saw opening night in the theater. I did take my daughter, by the way.
She went to a good movie?
You know, we're covering the NFL draft. Nobody cares.
And Zac Efron just came up into our... I mean, where else but right here on the fantasy? What on earth are they wearing?
Subway Vault.
Did you know Garrett Wilson actually has a sub in there?
Garrett Wilson is signing his sandwich.
Thibodeau's got one.
You should get Garrett Wilson's sandwich and put it in your little trophy case over there.
Because you should.
Okay. We should get this... We need to hire this guy for the AFL draft.
Yes, we do.
How much? Oh, the Ravens are traded again? Oh.
I mean, let's see. So we're guessing what? Tomorrow is going to be some running backs going.
I don't see a running back going in the first round. Now, the only one I saw was the
Tampa.
Bills.
I can see Tampa.
No.
But I threw it out there because of Leonard Fournette and who else? Keyshawn Vaughn? Well, he's been on the roster for this is going into his third year, and what, he's carried the ball 10 times?
You were high on that guy coming.
I know.
You drafted him.
No, he didn't.
You did?
Nobody drafted Keyshawn Vaughn.
Oh, someone did.
Yeah, I thought you did.
No, he went Zach Moss.
Well, later in the draft, though.
Yeah. I think it was actually Anthony.
Oh, maybe. I don't know if that one was on film yet. I don't know if we had the film going yet. I think we did. Actually, that one might be on film. Check out our archives. And watch the entire 2020 draft.
My first draft, by the way, A.J. Dillon.
Oh, shoot, that was that draft then. So that one is on film. Join us, the 2020 AFL draft. So the pick has actually been in for about 20 minutes now. We're just waiting for him to come up and announce it. So, are we all in consensus? It's going to be at least defense.
Yeah.
If it's not Jermaine Johnson, then it's going to be a linebacker. Which one, Lloyd or Dean, I'm not sure. 'Cause they're pretty close with each other, I think.
Probably that Lindenbaum.
Christian Johnson. Wow.
You got it on your phone or something, didn't you?
Nope.
Ultimately a unanimous All-American last year, won the Remington Trophy as the best center in the nation, was a finalist for the Outland Trophy as the country's top interior lineman.
How pumped is Lamar Jackson right now?
Doesn't matter. He doesn't use his offensive line.
It was like, just stay in the pocket long enough for the center to do anything to help him.
So Tennessee's up. Okay, so here though they may have choices. They could go, like we said, they could go defense here, which wouldn't be a
Quarterback.
bad move. However, yes, quarterback is definitely. If they went defense, it's got to be Jermaine Johnson.
I mean, the moves that they made, they just got rid of A.J. Brown. They're reshaping the offense.
I mean, getting Malik Willis wouldn't be a bad pick at this point.
They do need a running back.
And never mind, they just traded it. The Jets.
God.
Who are they coming up for?
Jermaine Johnson.
Who they draft already?
They had Sauce, and then they got Garrett Wilson.
Oh. Sure. Jermaine Johnson again.
Unless. I mean, could they be getting a pair of corners?
No. They drafted Michael Carter the second.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about him. Every time you said that, I kept thinking of the running back.
I know. I don't know if you know this, but at the beginning of the year, because I'm a Michael Carter owner, like I keep
You had them
saying,
both?
no.
Oh.
They kept giving the running back the tackles and the cornerback the rushing yards and catches and stuff. They kept mixing them up. There was one week that I had.
What about another receiver here?
No.
That's too much draft capital in one position.
Yeah, with Moore, you still got Davis on the roster. They just extended Braxton Berrios.
Tight end? Too early?
Too early.
Well, no, because they just acquired what's his face, so I don't know if they would draft a tight end necessarily.
Where
Oh.
who?
The Uzi,
Oh yeah.
Wheezy,
Ozamo?
you know him too. It's got to be defense. I mean, Jermaine Johnson.
Thibodeau. We'll find a way.
Tua.
Or, what about Wyatt from the Georgia D lineman?
That could be. But I think it's Johnson.
Early second-round picks, Lewis to play with, so they've made some aggressive moves tonight. They drafted the corner and Ahmad Gardner.
Or Devontae Wyatt, sorry.
Receiver and Garrett Wilson. In what direction
It's got to be Jermaine Johnson.
There's nothing on the draft board.
Well, I know, because I picked up my phone.
Carl Loftus.
Not over.
Not over Johnson.
Well, that's how we look at it. Doesn't mean that's how they look at it.
I mean, Tony and I know football. Thibodeau.
Trevor Lawrence.
Dolphins. I take it back.
Too early?
Hmm?
I said Dwayne Haskins.
Come on.
Too early?
Enjoy the cat.
They were getting Chinese too.
I apologize. The cat he went and used the facility, so. Language! Family friendly! He did drop it like it's hot, from what I can smell.
Probably still is on.
A little steamy bunghole running around right now.
Alright.
Like a dead man in the winter.
Here's Roger.
Zach Wilson made it for the draft.
Jackson Hill.
Jermaine Johnson.
With the 26th pick in the 2022
Hey!
Called it all along.
I'll take Daxton Hill for Tampa Bay.
So what, we got Tampa.
Man, was that Cam Newton back then? That's offensive. No need for that. I'm going to do like a little airplane. Jaguars are on the clock.
Oh boy. So
Receiver? Went up ahead of Green Bay.
linebacker.
Oh yeah. I don't know anymore.
It's got to be defense. No,
I have no idea at this point.
They would need to improve their defense more than anything. So I would say defense. I'm gonna.
N'Kobe Dean.
It's gonna be either Dean or Lloyd, with the third option being Andre Booth. I mean they pretty much need to revamp the entire thing. What'd I say?
There's two Booths in this draft.
Who'd I say?
Andre Booth.
I don't know why I keep saying Andre.
Andre Thibodeau's next. He's a quarterback now. It's a hybrid.
Andrew Booth. So that's my third option. But I think it's one of the two linebackers. I guess Karlaftis could be a consideration.
Yeah.
Or Wyatt. The down lineman.
Yeah. I'm going to go with N'Kobe Dean.
So, yeah, we'll figure out what. So Tampa decided to move back, obviously.
But Kyler Gordon.
The Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock. They've traded up with Tampa. They'll
Sauce.
be selecting next. The picks are coming fast, furious, and never to the team you're expecting. As we roll on back in just a moment.
It's been a fun draft.
You're watching the draft on ESPN.
It's been a fun draft.
You're watching the 2000.
You can smell the cat over there too. You saw him waving the jerseys.
Courtyard by Mary.
Yes, Raven, we're talking about you. Yep. All right, so let's see. You got Jacksonville, Green Bay, and then it's to your Kansas. Or no, the Chiefs. Who did they trade? They moved up. So who got that pick?
They still have a second.
New England got the first pick, right? The 29.
29.
Yeah.
Kansas City's got 30.
And Belichick being Belichick, don't be shocked if he moves out of that pick too.
Yeah. What the Chiefs trade back with him to get the pick back?
Well, the pick is in, Jack. It's got to be.
I can't predict it at this point.
I guess them taking that ramen wouldn't be horrible.
Don't worry, she has a verified approval that lets sellers know she's backed by Rocket Mortgage. So Barbie wins. You could buy
I guess also, now, it'd be too early. There's no way you'd move up this high to get a tight end.
No.
Because they could just get him in the second round.
Yeah.
In the future, we'll travel to incredible places with the help of magic.
It's got to be.
What about today?
It's got to be a linebacker because
I have places to go.
But like you said, you would, if you wanted a receiver bad enough, if you wanted, so what, there's Watson and Pickens are the two you would look at. If you really wanted to get one of them, you would have to jump up in front of Green Bay because they are going to more than likely take one.
I think Watson's more raw, but I think the upside of Watson's bigger than Pickens.
Yeah. I think the Jaguars are still going to go linebacker or
Yeah,
safety,
we're just trying to give
corner,
possible,
defensive back.
yeah, I'm going to go Dean.
Just your typical sneakerhead working for the employee discount, but
Speaking of deals, I heard regular guys like me are getting the Patrick price. That can't be real, right?
Listen, State Farm offers rates that fit any budget.
And what a defense that those Georgia Bulldogs had this year.
Wow, just anyone know?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of how many Georgia Bulldog defensive players we've been mentioning.
For surprisingly great
Almost
rates,
all of them?
budget, like a good neighbor.
That's how I've got to figure out when in doubt who to pick. Just take a Georgia.
Bulldog defensive
Yeah.
player.
I read something that everybody was putting them down because their stats weren't as high as the other guys.
That's how they rotated them.
Well, when you're playing with another 8 NFL first round talents, your stats are going to be lower.
Well, I mean the way they rotated the guys in and out, they were because they had so many they could rotate and keep them all fresh. It's no different than when Clemson was winning those championships and look at their defensive lineup. Heard Christian Wilkins is supposed to get a big contract extension here pretty soon. Speaking of Clemson defensive players.
We're back in Las Vegas. The Jaguars on the clock at number 20.
Quarterback.
Yeah, they are set at quarterback.
No. Bust.
Oh, I saw the picks coming up right there. He has number 22 from court.
I tell you, there's always going to be guys that slip through the cracks, and when you get into this part pushing the draft, Daxton Hill was one of those guys I thought was one of the best defensive backs after he got past the elite of the elite, which was Stingley Jr. and Sauce and Hamilton. Daxton Hill slot corner.
Devin Lloyd's interesting here.
Yeah, it's Lloyd or Dean that got to be the favorite.
You'd think so. Or it's someone we never heard of before.
It is the Jaguars.
I mean, you can't knock their first overall pick. I mean, also there's Hill.
So those are some of the options that are sitting there now for the Jaguars. I will also
Their party spread no expense for the.
trades tonight, which is the most in any first round since the draft went through 3 days.
They got that football and blues from Party City.
Look at that really cool
He's
photo.
got every hat from every team.
Yep.
Something of a frenetic evening as the Jaguars making one of these deals to move up here.
Yeah, when you get down into this spot where, there may be
What is this, like 1985 Bad Boys movie?
value late here, late
I don't mind the glasses though.
I want to get out of here and teams saying, hey, look, I'd love to get back in there.
Be a good look on me.
Who's going to Will Smith, Roger Goodell?
Where, look, maybe I had a guy rated as a high second.
It's not funny.
It's hilarious.
It's kind of funny.
Late first, high second, why you get the extra fifth year and make it
You know, watching that, how you bring it up. I think Jada Pickett, said something. And it's like you better go do something, because he was laughing like literally up to the second he went and did it, and she didn't exactly have a very happy look on her face. So, and
Yeah, she cracked the whip.
you know what's funny is the whole I actually thought they were coming out with a G.I. Jane 2 movie.
I don't know that.
I was like looking it up and everything. All right, come on, Goodell.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have traded the 27th pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. With the 27th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Devin Lloyd,
Linebacker Devin Lloyd.
Right, and there he goes, Lewis. I know this is a player that you love. Great speed and versatility. 8 sacks, 4 interceptions last year, including
Okay, that defense they're starting to make some things now. Depending what they gave, if they still could somehow do this and still have that second round pick,
I doubt they
I
got
doubt
that
it, but I'm
second
just saying, what if they could have pulled that off?
Yeah.
They still haven't announced what the deal was for.
What if they gave up? Yeah, I doubt that.
Traded what?
Just so you know, at home they just comped
Packers pick is
Lloyd to Darius Leonard, and if you know me, I'm a big
It's gotta
Darius
be
Leonard
either
fan.
Watson or Pickens.
No Pickens.
Yeah, this is a wide receiver here. Green Bay has to get a receiver here.
You know why I was thinking Watson? Just because he's from North Dakota, so I was thinking cold weather, maybe it'd fit in better. Not that maybe should be a scenario, I guess, but so like originally, I think I had Dotson going to Green Bay for the same mindset.
I think Christian Watson's the Green Bay style receiver. He's raw, but Aaron Rodgers is going to make him work. He's a huge target. The dude's 6'5". He's 6'5", almost 220, I think, if I remember right.
He's fast.
Yeah, and his 40 time is like a 4.4.
I'll go against the green. I'll go Daxton Hill.
It wouldn't surprise me if Green Bay likes to upset Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
But you still got, you got Sam Howell, you got Malik Willis.
They've done it before. They've taken a quarterback in the first round. Jordan Love hasn't.
Yeah, they still got him. Well, he's like he got to play what, one game?
And they traded up to get him.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, remind me. Does Detroit still has that? Detroit still has a 32, right? No, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
That went to.
He got like 46.
That's right. So we got the. Oh, Minnesota's got. Could they take a quarterback? 32. I mean, Willis. If you think about it, you got Cousins. You could give Willis a couple of years.
Hey, Kellen Mond.
Yeah, Kellen Mond. Can't forget about him.
That's what I hate about the combine. Like right now, Mel Kiper's talking about speed and how you playing speed. Track speed and football speed are two totally different things.
Yep.
You might not be track fast, but once you get the pads on, that's why I wish when they did the combine, I wish the guys were wearing all the pads and helmets and everything, so you can actually see how fast they got. Plus, there's a difference between just lining up and running and being pursued or pursuing something.
I wish they'd do this like regular game simulation routes.
Yeah. Like you talk about 40 times, like, we were talking, I think you mentioned earlier about, like, a defensive lineman. You really care about their first 5 yards. I mean, I guess you could say, if you were going to look at their 40 time, you could maybe, if you tracked it, if there was a progression of them getting faster, maybe if they end up having to track something downfield, but, I mean, more than likely, if a running back got past a D lineman, he's not going to run down 40 yards and track him down.
Right.
Unless he got slowed up in the process. Yeah, this pick's been in for about 10 minutes now, I think.
There's always those second round wide receivers who people undervalue and say, well, maybe his upside is kept. You couldn't tell me that Sky Moore can't be a number one wide receiver. But he's not going to be that year one, though. Yeah, you're right, but you can't tell me.
Talking about your boy, Sky Moore. Groundless.
The commissioner is going to be joined by the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. And Booger, this is someone I know you have great respect for. It's Andrew Whitworth.
When you got the Packer pick coming up, though, you definitely want to get the retired Rams left tackle to make that pick.
Yes.
It's called an investment. You can apply those three things to any charity or cause you have a passion for.
So right now we get to,
You can invest your time,
instead of announcing the pick, we get to see Andre Whitworth.
or you can invest your voice.
Who?
Doesn't matter which.
Andre Whitworth?
Keep investing in each other. Let your heart lead you all the way.
Apparently, I got a thing for Andres. Everyone's named Andre.
If their actual name is Andrew, it's Andre to Eric.
You should go up and call him Andrew. Call him Andre. Eric, can't tell how Andre's doing.
But they'll also make tremendous impacts in their communities.
Is he seriously going to make the pick of the Packers here?
Exemplified that more than Walter Payton. Named in his honor, the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, is the most prestigious award a player can receive. Tonight, we are proud to have Andrew Whitworth,
Andre?
2021 Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year, here with us.
I really want to know what makes him decide, like, okay, right here, we're going to do this.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Speech.
Great.
Thank y'all. Whose house? That's what I'm talking about.
But yeah, make him.
I am very humbled and grateful to stand before you as the 2000
Jack Youngblood.
Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. I would love to thank the NFL, the Payton family, and Nationwide.
Do you know who Jack Youngblood is?
Everything they do to support.
No.
Was he in a Patrick Swayze movie?
Try to make positive impacts in our communities.
I don't know.
When I look back over my time
He's a
in
Hall of
the
Fame
NFL,
defensive lineman.
my career over 16 years and a Super Bowl champion, one of the most rewarding things about it was the platform I was able
Willie
to
Payton Man of the Year.
to help change people's lives. There's a lot of other teammates across the NFL and different organizations.
Oh, apparently I screwed names up so badly that it's a meme now.
Encourage you. And the prospects of this NFL
This cat.
take advantage of that opportunity.
Grammar Cat's attacking.
Let's live a legacy that lasts longer than just the game field.
Oh my God, get to the pick.
Who you are on and off of it to make an impact that'll last for generations. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Why did they pick that moment?
Blah, blah, blah.
Why don't they do this stuff when there's not a pick?
Andrew, great man, we're so proud of you. With the 28th pick,
Proud of you, Andre.
22 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle.
Wow.
It's a good pick, though.
21 years in a row without a first-round receiver.
And so, they did not take the receiver. Here's what they did do. They just made history. Tonight in this first round, Lewis, the Packers took Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt, both from Georgia. They're the first team ever in the common draft to take two defensive players from the same school in the same draft in the first round. Now, their Georgia defense is one of the greats that we've ever seen. What do you think of the selection here?
I think it's good.
I want to see, not him, I want to see Aaron Rodgers' reaction to that pick.
He would have been right up there in the top 15. This guy is a pass rushing.
Aaron Rodgers just killed his dog.
Super quick. He is more of a one gap type of
So
player.
mad.
But he has got
I think he just killed Jake from State Farm.
he has skills. He plays the game hard. He plays the game fast. But he will
Driving over to Gutenkunz's house right now to welcome him home after the draft.
anyway. You don't have to worry about them really sitting him in a board technique in a 3-4 and getting his feet up. That's not what he does. They're going to move him around. You see all these clips right here. This is what he does. And look, in the NFL, where pass rush is at a premium, but Green Bay, we already said maybe they would go for
Patriots pick is him.
Well, they got really the best inside
Linebacker.
in the box. And I think if you look
No,
at
they
Green Bay's
both linebackers are gone.
Joe Barry to get this performance, he cut his teeth
No, they're
out.
not.
But we have maybe the best street technique of all time in the one south. And now you have a guy, Devontae Wyatt, who they're going to try to put in that same position, a one gap penetrator.
I'm not reading it, but it says
Smith, okay,
Lamar's reaction to trade.
they're remaking their defense in Green Bay. Joe Barry's got a lot
I can pull it up here.
The Patriots are on the clock now. That's where the pick
Ah.
began in Miami.
I lost. I'm curious what his reaction is.
Kansas City and now is in New England. The pick is in. We'll find out who Bill Belichick's team is taking next as we come near the end.
All right, so Belichick. Okay, Dean.
Yeah. Seems like, I mean, who else would it be?
Booth.
No.
Well, they got to replace corner.
Yeah, but I think it's a second round pick.
I can't pull it up. I saw something that said Lamar Jackson's reaction to. Look at that. This is a picture of Aaron Rodgers. And it says Rodgers seeing the Packers draft a linebacker and he's like falling down with his helmet coming off. Darn it! I wanted to see this.
Go straight to the double whopper junior. Piping hot small fries, 4-piece crispy nuggets, and a refreshing small juice. Can you believe you get all this for only $5? The $5 Your Way meal. Only at Burger
Let's check for AJ Brown. Oh well. All right, so we only got what 4 picks left in this first round.
About 2.5 more hours to go then.
Well, you got to get Andrew Whitworth out there giving another speech.
I thought it was Andre.
Oh, jeez. All right, so I'm gonna say N'Kobe Dean here, the linebacker.
Sounds good to me.
Kansas City will follow up with
Christian Watson.
or Pickens, one of the two.
I'm okay with either one.
Cincinnati gets interesting.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Booth.
No.
Andre or Andrew?
Both are available.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that both are still there.
Let's see what else we got. Karloftis is still sitting out there. So is Arnold Eb Ikiti. Penn State. Another move, though, I could see Cincinnati doing is that Trey McBride moving up for the tight end.
I don't see that.
Well, no, because that's a player that wouldn't be there in their second round pick. So at this point, if you're Cincinnati, them taking a tight end at that point wouldn't be horrible.
I don't see him take a tight end there.
I mean, they need one.
Still got a chance to get Gronk.
He's not going to go back. Just go back to what do you call it?
Toby Gronkowski.
Huh? So here we go. It says New England's pick is in. All right, so I am saying Dean.
That's
Yeah.
way back when they had their original pick. That's
I
why
think they're going to double down and draft Keneal Harry again.
would be a bad pick.
The New England Patriots select Cole Strange, guard, Chattanooga.
All
That's a
right.
Belichick guy. Who?
If there's one of these guys seriously pumped for this,
They paid him to do that.
sorry, I don't have much on Cole
I
Strange.
don't know.
He wears 69.
He was a third-team FC SAP All-American,
FC
5-time academic All-SoCon. He made the Dean's List 10 times, people.
Jacobs Blocking Award winner.
He's got that certain je ne sais quoi you look for in your guard.
Made the Dean's List 10 times. Big fan of dairy products.
Oh, that's the humor you pay nothing for, people.
That's the quality you get for nothing.
All right, so the pick is in Chiefs.
Watson.
I'm going to say Watson.
I like Watson out of Watson or Sky Moore. But I don't think they need a Sky Moore type.
I don't know. I'd go Pickens over Sky.
No, I wouldn't.
I like Pickens too, though. Something about Watson, just another player won't be able to draft.
If it's not,
Well, this was quick.
Yeah. Finally.
Dean, if it's not,
Maybe. Dax Hill.
it's not a bad
I love his story. Born and lived in Greece until he was 13. He was on the Greek national
Those are
I mean, this
positions-
was a need. They did need to
Yeah.
get on the D line.
Yeah, these are positions that they needed to fill. I mean, been nice to get another receiver, but I mean, they do have a few receivers on the team right now.
Don't they have a couple early second-round picks?
Yeah, they have like two or three second-round picks.
Well, hold on. What did they have to give up to acquire that one pick? Did they give one of those away or something?
No. Cincy, pick is in. Dax Hill. One of these days, I'll get it right.
All right, so I'm gonna go Booth.
And they need somebody to get rid of Apple.
I think they re-signed him.
If it's not Booth, that's only 1 year deal. If it's not Booth, I'm gonna go Dean. But I think it's defense. Though I did say Trey McBride is an option.
Isn't Dean a linebacker?
Yes.
Won't that still be defense?
Yeah.
Well, you just said
Andre defense.
Andre defense? All right.
I could see, but like I said, I could see Trey McBride here as well.
Nope.
Nope. I don't see them going a tight end in the first round.
But he will not be there at their next pick.
I don't think they care. I don't care. I don't think he's the best tight end in the
I
group.
don't care.
I don't think he's the best tight end in the group this year.
You like Ruckett?
Nope.
I don't like any of the tight ends.
Not a big fan of any of them, really. There's one I kind of like. I shall save that one until August, though. If we can get another FU from someone.
There's no one on that list that you're going to get that from me, even if they went to Miami.
You can unleash a four-man front where this guy can turn the corner, hits quick, and not just power. So you're not going to be able to run over every time they got football. That's my concern for him. Yeah, there may be some guys.
Ferguson?
Turd Ferguson?
Charlie Kohler.
Who?
Are we talking, there's a tight end you like?
Oh, let me see the list of them. I don't remember him off the
The night for Kansas City, they take Trent McDuffie, and now they take George Karlaftis. Meanwhile, we have 2 picks remaining in round 1, and we still have one of the 2 quarterbacks we expected to go tonight, waiting for his turn. Malik Willis still on the board. Will he hear his name called? We'll find out.
No. Malik Willis is not going to get called tonight. There's going to be one quarterback taken in the first round.
Courtyard by Marriott.
Well, just remember, there could be a trade in either one of these 2 spots, too.
Well, Bengals pick is in.
I mean, okay, so there could be a trade in the next spot.
There could be a trade in the next several hundred spots. Anyone's looking for was there really players named Andre left?
Yes. Booth.
I'm gonna still go with Dax. Dax Shepard.
The actor?
Yeah. He can be the new Bengals player.
They take that punter to, they took McPherson really early last year.
Yeah, he's really good too.
I know.
Shall be keeping him as well.
Oh, I wanted it. I wanted to draft him. I was going to take him with the 17th overall pick.
Just trying to look here. Yeah, I'm going to go either. I mean, Dean is probably the better prospect.
Yeah, they need defensive backup though. Well, he plays defense and he has a back.
Any size soft drink reduce the buck at McDonald's.
All right, I'm saying Dean.
I'm going to go Kyler Gordon.
That's not bad either.
I'm telling you, they need to replace Eli. They lost a Super Bowl because of Eli.
I'd be okay with that. I'm just rooting for Michigan guy going to a team I like.
Then why you say hell?
I did say Hill.
Oh.
Remember when I said Dak Shepard, I was being funny, like you.
Oh. So you're making fun of all the Andrews.
The commissioner. Irk.
Hey, there's Thibodeau.
That's your rep name now. Irk Mill.
And my hype man, Tony T. Tiny T.
Did you call him your
I
hype?
can't even screw it. I can't even say it right.
Did you call him your hype man?
Polar opposite of that.
Well, I can't have a hype man?
No.
Man, if we've been drinking all night, imagine what this would be like. We should do a drug broadcast one of these days.
Oh, that'd be insane.
A couple bottles of Cavatier.
The clothes come off.
Please no. You've been yelling at us every time you say a word like penis.
All right. Language.
Bow ties, no
Language.
shirts.
Language. That's the scientific term for the appendage.
Yeah, but there's young ears.
There's no young ears listening to this right now. There's no one listening. Is there anybody listening to this right now? There's a throbbing red thing in the middle here.
Says we got 3 views.
Views or viewing? He's down. That's a slobber knocker.
We'll have to go back and watch that one.
Irk.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, here we go.
Pick us in, people.
Andre Booth.
The AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals select Dexton Hill.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, we know someone guys drafted.
Who dey? Who dey?
So Minnesota's up. Okay. So
Andre Booth.
I'm going to throw 3 names out there for this pick. I'm going to say Andrew Booth. I'm going to say, the pick is in, by the way. I'm going to say N'Kobe Dean and Malik Willis.
I'll give you 2 names. First one, Kyler Gordon. Second one, Andrew Booth.
Yep. Agreed. It's good. It's a cornerback.
Yeah, they need a corner badly. Anything less would be
I
uncivilized.
think they moved back so far because Stingley was gone.
Yep, they wanted Stingley bad, and they couldn't get him, so they didn't care.
He's the prototype hybrid. Look, he's not Kyle Hamilton. He's not that big, but he can do the same thing. He's the guy who can play the deep end. He can play the star. He can play the money position, which is really the dotted linebacker. He will come down and try and stop you. He's only 190.
He's hilarious. He grabbed the wrong hat.
Yeah.
To his disadvantage, just
At least.
Also, he's got the Browns hat on.
Whoops.
but he is not scared. He is super fast. Look, this is a great picture. If they needed a guy like this,
Doesn't have to move very far.
Is his dad Michael Wilbon?
Yeah? For 2 seconds, you believed.
The seriousness on your face, like, how dare you not know? All right, so the pick is in for Minnesota, but however, because the pick is in, we have to wait probably 20 minutes to actually hear the
Right.
announcement.
Yeah. Everyone, this is Antonio Banderas speaking for Children of the South. Hello, I'm Antonio Banderas. I was in Desperado.
Desperado.
What did I do?
Sweet Tony Mize. Remember I sang that to you at work?
Yes.
How could one
I did not
man
miss
be
that.
so short, so short, so short, so
man.
short?
Let me go way back to what the guys were saying earlier. The Vikings. That quarterback discussion is great on Malik Willis. Dak Prescott was what, a 4th-round pick. We talked about Derek.
Oh, jeez. So I guess after this final pick, we'll sit here and do a retro, spend a little time just do a quick retrospect of this thing.
What Tampa Bay dress? Malik Willis. No, they got Trask. Trask is better.
So this draft, literally, it's gonna be like, look at Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Minnesota.
Sets up a very interesting day tomorrow as all those hours go by before we get to the beginning of
Man, not one running back in the first round.
Yeah. There was only one spot I saw that I thought would take one. And then,
Buffalo.
yeah.
And just think, Buffalo,
Tampa,
and
little.
Atlanta, or Houston and Atlanta picked before the.
Yeah. What's going to happen next year is going to be like, man, I can't believe they took that guy instead of a running back. They could have had Brees Hall or ex-running back. It's like the Chiefs took...
Oh, they were telling a big story about Delvin Cook on the radio the other day about some guy was like, yeah, he's my kid really liked Delvin Cook. So I recently just ordered him a jersey and I come to find out that he's switching his number to 4.
Yeah.
They're like, isn't there some kind of jersey...
What if Minnesota drafts his brother and he wants to wear number 4?
Yeah.
Huh.
And someone raided the dollar store. Not like the stuff, just the jersey.
It's our year. Minnesota, you can put it down. Guy on the TV said it's our year. Minnesota's winning it all. Regardless of this pick. Actually, this pick will be the tipping point.
They could be the best team in their state.
Yeah, they beat the Golden Gophers.
Probably.
Here we go.
Hey,
what is it, Flavor Flav?
Illuminati. Corky Romano. Oh. All right.
Another Georgia player.
Yeah. Are there any Georgia players left?
So Louis Seen.
Louis or Lewis?
Same thing.
I'm ready. Lewis.
Trying to think. I don't know if... I mean, look, I guess Harrison Smith is getting older, but I would have gone Booth, I think, here instead.
Ooh. Scene can kind of plays both positions. He can play corner and he can play safety. So he can move him around a little bit.
Well, I guess with Harrison getting older,
yeah,
I guess you can move Harrison into strong, maybe.
I mean, at their next pick, they can take one of the corners.
Oh, that's right, because they're coming back in 2 picks.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Good call. That's why we pay this guy the big money to come in here and make dynamite drop-ins like that.
There you go. I know a little something about something.
You don't just get this kind of... so tomorrow, it's going to go Tampa, Minnesota, and Tennessee.
Which is completely changed from what it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the end of tonight... That's so weird. Like, I was so focused on the second round being different. Like, yeah, Detroit's got 32 and 34.
Well, I mean,
I mean, I'm happy with their draft so far.
How are the Bears drafted?
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
How about them Dolphins?
Second round Magic. Probably take a player that won't help them all.
I think he's up to the third round.
Bears
right?
are going to take Sky Moore.
Good.
I think he'll be there.
All right, so top players available tomorrow. We got Malik Willis, Matt Carroll, and Sam Howell, and Ritter.
Coral.
What'd I say?
Carroll. Carroll! I'm Carroll!
Let's see. Running back wise, we got Walker, Hall. You got Spiller. You got the Zamir White out of Georgia. Receiver, still got Pickens, and we got Watson, and we got Sky Moore. All the tight ends are available. Every single one of them.
Who's the top punter?
I don't have that sheet.
Come on!
What's wrong with you?
Best lineman available is going to be out of Central Michigan, that Bernard Ryman. For the pass rushers, we have Arnold Abikiti, David Ojobu,
That's A. Sound like O.
linebacker wise. Dean is still sitting out there. I can see Dean. I don't know. Tampa's interesting what they're going to, because they're not going to need a linebacker.
That's why I'm sitting here trying to think, what would Tampa Bay take at 43?
Lineman.
I was going to say a defensive tackle.
No, offensive lineman. They just had the one retire.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have, that should be an offensive line spot. The Minnesota spot, probably Booth. The Tennessee spot could be a quarterback.
Willis.
Yeah.
The Minnesota spot could be a quarterback too.
No. They just extended Cousins.
Linebacker wise, you got all except for Lloyd. So you got, there's Deans out there. You got Harris, Drake Jackson. Sorry, I don't usually screw up names. Corner, you got Booths out there. You got Gordon out there. McCreary. Safety wise, Brisker, Petrie. Those are going to be your two top ones.
I like Petrie. He's quick to dish.
Oh, the place cleared out fast, didn't it?
It did.
Heck of a day for the Rams. If you're a Ram fan, you're definitely excited about today.
The question is, does anyone trade up? Did we see Willis's name come off the board quickly tomorrow night? We'll get that answer tomorrow.
How does anyone trade up? Probably.
Yeah.
Well, how many trades there was tonight that
So-
were not expected?
I can see Baker still going tomorrow.
If he didn't go today, I don't think he's going to get traded during the draft.
What are they going to... so what? You really going to hold on to the two of them?
I think so. Because I don't think Watson's going to play for 6 games, and they're just going to play him, hopefully hope for the best. If he doesn't play him, they got to find someone else, and they tank.
Yeah, they're not going to... Debo's another one. I don't know.
I always joke that it's always 10:30 in Vegas, Steve. It's 8:41 in Vegas.
Check the volume down now. So just chit-chat. So, let's go through this draft. You got Trayvon Walker went first. How you guys want to do this? You want to go break down each pick, or should we just chit-chat about each team, or...
Probably be easier just to go for a pick.
Okay. So Trayvon Walker, that was one of the most talked about things. So it's not like it's some big surprise. And kind of fast forwarding, they did draft a linebacker, one of the top linebackers, So their defense has gotten better. Because originally, remember, I said that they, well, if you add Trayvon Walker, whatever, Hutchinson, it wouldn't help that much because you just got one guy. Well, now you're actually building your defense. They're actually taking the time to invest in their defense. So if they do that in this whole draft, their team will be better. And will they be a contender? No. Will they be much improved? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions with Hutchinson, that was pretty much a...
If he was there, you're pretty sure they were going to take him. I think he helps improve and stabilizes that defensive pass rush.
And then they come right back at 12, Detroit, and add Jamison Williams, receiver.
Mm-hmm. And even if he's not ready to start the season,
Right.
They don't need him to be because they're not going to be contend next year anyway.
No, they're not going to contend, but they're going to be better than they are right now.
Yeah.
I think I think it's only the first round. A lot of teams are going to be better than they were last year, which they should be.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see too many picks I thought were bad picks. I've seen one strange pick.
The Stingley one. I don't like that one.
I think
That 3 Texans.
I think they took him too early, but I think Stingley is going to still be a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not worth the number 3 pick.
It's too early to tell if these guys went too early or whatnot because you don't know. I mean, when Baker Mayfield was drafted 1 overall, would you rather have him or Josh Allen 6 picks later or whatever it was?
What are the Texans?
Right.
So the Texans traded with Philadelphia, but then they didn't get. What did they get for that deal?
I forget.
Because they didn't pick again in the first round, and they originally had a first-round pick. A second first-round pick. We'll come back to that. The Sauce Gardner pick to the Jets, I like that one.
I love that pick.
That's a good pick.
Thibodeau to the Giants, dead on money. A steal, in my opinion. Panthers taking Icky, the lineman.
Good pick.
It's definitely... just say, hey, Darnold, we got another chance. Where do they pick in the next round? They're higher up, still in the second round, aren't they?
Hold on.
Carolina?
I just pulled it up. Carolina does not. The Jets have Carolina's pick.
Okay.
For the Darnold trade.
Okay, so then the Giants, they went and Evan Neal.
I don't see how you can pass that up.
Yep.
Drake London, the receiver to the Falcons.
That one shocked me. I didn't expect Drake.
But
London.
we thought it was a receiver.
Well, we thought it was receiver, but I didn't think. But like we talked about before, we didn't know the receivers were all just different versions of a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Just to butt in a second. Lamar Jackson's Twitter. WTF.
Then Seattle went with Charles Cross. I mean, it never hurts to go adding an offensive lineman. Okay, then we get to the receiver run here. Jets took Garrett Wilson.
I think the biggest winner out of today is the Jets.
Oh, absolutely.
I absolutely love what the Jets did.
I'll put the Jags right behind him, though. I think the Jags really improved their defense, and I think it's...
Oh, yeah.
And gave themselves something to build around. New Orleans getting Chris Olave at 11.
I don't like the pick. I don't like him there. They have no future at quarterback. I don't see them having the draft capital to go get Willis. And I'm sorry, but the rest of the quarterbacks in this class, they stink.
I thought they could have got Olave later without moving up.
And then of course, we mentioned Williams going to Detroit. Okay, so then Philly, you got Jordan Davis, defensive tackle. I like it. I like him as a player.
So do I.
Gives them something to really kind of, because they still have, trying to think of, Cox. Fletcher Cox is still there, right?
Yeah.
But they just lost someone out their defensive line.
I can't remember.
The Baltimore getting Kyle Hamilton is an absolute freaking steal at 14.
Yep.
Yeah.
The picking of Houston. Oh, there we go. That's where it was. Houston taking Kenyon Green. I mean, them adding offensive line wasn't.
Anytime you can add a good offensive lineman here.
Especially a guard, because they're going to be in a team. I think they're going to try to run the ball a
With
little
who?
bit more. Well, you got Mack, and who knows? They might add something.
If Mack is your running back,
Well,
you have a running back.
here we go with the running back. Since there's no running backs taken,
Yeah.
Houston has the 5th pick in the 2nd round.
That could very
That's
well
Kenneth
be,
Walker or Bryce Hall right there.
probably.
Washington taking Dotson. I think it is a good pick.
Uh-huh.
I like him as a receiver. They
Yep.
said he's actually maybe the best pure receiver in the draft.
Could be.
Chargers, Zion Johnson,
I like it.
solid lineman.
Interior lineman.
I'm not sure what I think about this Titans. I think it had to do with money more than anything. The trade of A.J. Brown and then drafting Treylon Burks.
I'm not a fan of that trade. I don't like A.J. Brown in a Philly uniform.
I mean, if you're a Titans fan, I don't think you like the trade.
I did read something here on Twitter about that trade. It said, Cardinals trading 23 for Marquise Brown when 18 got someone A.J. Brown. And then a bunch of laughing faces.
That's a good point. Saints then came back with lineman Trevor Panning. Some of us pretty much had him going there. I think all along. All three of us had him going there.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh taking Kenny Pickett. That wasn't like a
No
shock.
surprise.
And like I think we had said, we could see him even contending for the starter right out the gate.
I think I put Malik Willis here, but Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis.
Kansas City traded up for McDuffie, the corner out of Washington. He would not have been there at pick 29, so I think that's a good move. They definitely needed to improve their secondary for sure. Especially looking at the division they have now. I mean, you got to go against the Chargers air game, the Raiders air game, and obviously the Broncos just got a huge boost by adding Russell Wilson with all those receivers.
Yep.
Green Bay drafting Quay Walker, the linebacker out of Georgia. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of these Georgia defensive players.
No.
And that's like the one thing that people always like kind of have said throughout his entire career. Rodgers, he may complain they didn't draft a receiver, but isn't defense really the one thing they always say holds them back anyways? They never say it's the receivers are holding the Packers back. They always say it's the defense isn't the same as as good as the offense. The Bills drafted Elam, the corner out of Florida.
Mm-hmm. And they needed the concerns on their team were running back and corner, so they solved the corner, and there's still plenty of running backs left they can go for, even though Zach Moss is probably better than all of them.
Dallas drafted Tyler Smith, offensive lineman.
Yeah, solid D end. I mean, they have to go offensive there.
Baltimore took Tyler Lindenbaum, the center from Iowa.
He's a beast.
The Jets, which I think got a steal here, traded back in at 26 to get Jermaine Johnson.
That is a
So
steal.
think about it. In the first round, they added there's a star corner, a pass rusher, and a deep threat.
Yeah, the Jets.
Jets were the winners overall.
Yeah, I think Jets did really good. Lions did good.
Let's see, and then the Jacksonville traded back into the first to get Devin Lloyd, which I think is a great move for them. Arguably, some had him as the top linebacker. Some had Dean. And then Green Bay took Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle. Like I just said, they needed to improve I think they need to improve their defense. I don't think that. I mean, do they need a receiver to add? Yep, they do. But I mean, he's made no names freaking work almost his whole career, right?
Yep, and he'll continue to do so.
I mean, as long as the guys can catch.
I mean, right now he's got the offense. He's got Sammy Watkins, Alan Lazard,
and
really, aren't they more closer to a running team anyways?
who?
Randall Cobb.
I mean, you
Oh,
got
yeah, Randall Cobb, Amari Rogers.
Yes.
I mean, there's five deep right there.
I mean, you look at running back. You got Aaron Jones,
A.J. Dillon.
and Aaron Jones can catch out of the backfield. A.J. Dillon.
They should line
AJ
up Aaron Jones in the slot and rush the ball with A.J. Dillon.
A.J. Dillon can catch out of the backfield too.
Then New England went with probably the reach, but Cole Strange, a guard from. He was a 10-time Dean's List winner.
I did read that a unnamed source texted Adam Schefter that they love that pick.
Kansas City came back with George Karlaftis.
Yeah, you can't argue that one.
No, you can't because you look at, their defense. Some of their top defensive players are aging.
Mm-hmm.
They have contracts.
They had to replace corner and defensive end, so they did that.
Yep. Then we got Cincinnati taking Daxton Hill. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. I mean,
They
they
needed
did
secondary help.
I mean, personally, I could also. I mean,
Jesus.
if there would have been better offensive linemen available, I think I would have taken an offensive lineman. I think their priority needs to keep Burrow upright, and then Minnesota, Lewis Seen, defensive back safety from Georgia.
He's good too.
And he's good, and it gives, this way they have Harrison Smith and him can be a combo back there. Harrison Smith is getting older, and he's got probably a couple of years left, I'm sure. That's your first round. Jets winner.
Yep.
Consensus.
And they have the 6th pick in the 2nd round too, so they can add to this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a 50-50 who for second between the Lions and the Jags.
I think the Lions are better than Jags. What about the Giants?
Oh yeah.
I think there's a lot of teams that did well.
I know who didn't. Miami, the Rams,
Bears,
Cleveland. What about players getting traded? What are we thinking here? You think Baker gets moved?
No.
No. Debo at this point, unless it was too, because San Francisco wants a ton for him, so they're not going to get that now.
Right.
So Debo is either going to hold out or.
See, that's the thing. You get nothing if this guy holds out for the whole year.
Right.
So they'd rather get nothing than get something.
He's being consulted by Le'Veon Bell. If you want to lose $10 million a quick way.
That's a good point. Never thought about that. Man, that's consultation I would pay money for. What other players have been talked about getting moved?
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I could see if he gets traded, it'll be for something. But that one isn't something that people are talking about high pick going for.
Mm-hmm.
But like a team like, say, Carolina.
I think if these guys get moved,
What if they package Garoppolo and Debo, and Carolina sends their 1st round draft pick next year to them, and something this year?
I think right now with the big name trades, it's going to come down to training camps and injuries. If someone loses a quarterback, then they're going to be desperate and need to trade.
Well, clearly contracts become an issue.
Yeah.
Well, it just popped up on the screen. 4-year, $100 million contract for A.J. Brown with $57 million guaranteed for the Eagles.
Is that too much money?
Yes.
Yeah, like, NFL
So-
getting out of control.
So my thing with A.J. Brown, he had a good rookie year.
Scott Van Pelt's dog passed away.
He did nothing last year.
Uh-uh.
He had 2 good games the entire year. I wanted to move him the entire year, and I was patient. I still have him on my roster, but I hate this move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what to think about the Marquise Brown move. I think I actually kind of like it.
I like the Marquise Brown move because I have Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews. I have them both.
Lamar Jackson is not happy about the move.
No.
And that's why I'm not happy with the A.J. Brown move, because Jalen Hurts can't support two receivers. He's got Smith and Brown. He can't support them both.
Rager.
They're going to cancel each other out. Oh, Rager doesn't count.
I don't know. One thing I don't know if he had the Lamar Jack. I guess he's just refusing to throw to receivers now. He's just going to run it every time. So I don't know if the Bateman goes up.
I should increase the value on Huntley then.
Just kidding.
Right?
So we'll come back here. Well, Guy won't be joining us tomorrow. He's got apparently a concert he's going to. But it sounds like Tony will be joining me tomorrow. So we'll do day 2 tomorrow. Originally, I wasn't sure if we were doing day 2, but we're gonna do day 2. And day 2 gets a little harder because some of the names you don't know as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be and it'll be a lot of recapping today, I'm sure. We'll try to keep it entertaining as we did today. Hopefully I don't fall. And hopefully I get all the names right.
That won't happen.
One of the two is bound to happen again.
Or both.
Instantaneous combustion. You're going to pronounce the name wrong and fall right out of your chair.
So with that being said, we're going to end this right now, and then we'll come back here shortly with a little AFL update about the quarterback rule. So thank you for those 3-4 viewers out there that watched. We appreciate your loyalty. You are loved. You are someone special.
It's because someone fell asleep when they were watching the other draft, and it cut out and just randomly went to a different one.
Right?
So, take care. We'll see you on the flip side. Back to 2-2. He'll get 3 views. Total watch time was an hour and a half.
All right.
But remember, that's because this is broken into 3 segments.
Just played
Okay,
the
yeah.
same franchise their entire career.
All right, where's my little book? I had a book around here somewhere. There it is. All right, everyone. Welcome. This is a little impromptu stream here. The whole point of this is the AFL quarterback rule. Joining me are, again, Tony and Guy. They're going to be participants, but they're kind of just... They're not the ones triggering this. Some things I've been thinking about with our rule that we came up with. Of course, it was voted on our meeting earlier this month that we're going to go to 1 quarterback for the season. And so I kind of did some retrospective on this and some real thinking on this. And first of all, I apologize. I let the league down on this one. When this idea was presented to me, I just kind of looked at it like it would never pass. It would never even be considered. I thought it would be a slam dunk no. And it was not. It was passed. So the rule is you can only carry 1 quarterback, but during your bye week, you can pick up 1. So I came up with, first of all, pros and cons to this rule, and also alternatives, what I should have done, or what we should have considered. So, what do you guys want to hear? You want to hear the pros or the cons first?
Let's go with the pros.
You want to hear the pros. We're going to hear the pros on this. So here's a pro to the 1 quarterback rule. Pro number 1 is there'll be more average to above average quarterbacks available for bye weeks. So if you have a team that, for example, let's say your quarterback situation was Aaron Rodgers and give me a really bad quarterback.
Trevor Lawrence.
Tiger Vailoa.
There's got to be something worse than that. Sam Darnold. Let's say, no? Anyways, so let's say you had the number 1 ranked quarterback, but then you had the number 32 ranked quarterback. That's a better way to do this. So you have the number 1 quarterback and the number 32 quarterback are your 2 quarterbacks. So during your bye week, you're playing the worst quarterback in the league. Now, with the way it is, you're going to have probably the 17th ranked quarterback. So there's a pro. So you just upgraded for that 1 week. Another pro to this is there'll be, so if you keep a quarterback, you won't be able to draft a quarterback in the draft, which means that's that's more positional players you can look at: receivers, running backs, tight ends, kickers, whatever. You don't have to think about even drafting a quarterback if you keep one. So there's the pros I came up with. The cons I came up with are this. Number one, I'm changing the order I wrote these down. So number one, there's going to be less receivers and running backs now available, not only in the draft. Well, there'll be less available as you go because more are going to get taken out. There'll be less receivers and running backs available during the week. So if you have a player go down, a running back or a receiver, I mean, there's going to be very small amount because now, where most teams would keep at least 2, if not 3 quarterbacks, those spots are going to be taken by positional players. Also, there's the next con is there's going to be a scramble to pick these quarterbacks up during the bye week because usually usually the bye weeks are kind of like they start with like 4 teams. I think the most they might have is 6.
Yeah.
I can't remember how they do. They kind of work out. It's at least 4 teams. So potentially we could have 4 teams in our league scrambling to try to pick up, and there's no strategy in it. All you're doing is going to be whoever is the fastest one to hit add. Let's see. You can't build or plan for the future. So, for example, I'll use myself in this category. I had Tom Brady, which I did trade away, but I had Tom Brady. And before this rule, I had no intention of trading him away. And I had Trevor Lawrence, who I used a first-round pick to acquire last year. So I was going to keep them both. So I have my quarterback for the now, and I have my quarterback for the future all lined up. And this blew that out the water. Also, another con is it's going to hurt teams with the average quarterback. And what I mean by that is, so obviously there's 16 quarterbacks that are going to be taken in our league. If you have the number 16 quarterback, you might have to drop him to pick up, whatever else. But what if, I never just thought of this now. So let's say it's during that bye week, you decide, you know what, my quarterback isn't panning out, so you go to pick him up. But then let's say 4 other quarterbacks are already taken. So you before, and like for example, we had one team that had Kirk Cousins and
Tannehill.
And Ryan Tannehill on the same team. Pretty much, they're average quarterbacks, very similar in stats. It's like, oh, you could play the hot one. Like that scenario is gone. So in the same boat, you can't play matchups. So if, let's say you have 2 quarterbacks and your best quarterback, who's a top quarterback in the league, for example, or one of the top quarterbacks in the league, let's say they struggle specifically against one team. So now at this point, he's not going to drop Herbert because Herbert struggles against the Raiders. I can't remember if he does, just throwing as an example.
No.
But he's not going to drop Herbert just because he struggles against the Raiders.
When does Herbert struggle?
Play along. So now he's just got to kind of fight through it. It will hurt strategy in the terms of, for example, some teams say, well, I'm going to prioritize quarterback. So, for example, this guy right here, he had Burrow and Mahomes. He did trade one of them away, so he did get something in return. So did, like Kyle, for example. He got something in return for Russell Wilson. I got something in return for Brady. But these were situations that they prioritized to have a strength in their team, and it became something that got just blown up, like, instantly. And it does hurt our draft because, like I said earlier, you're going to have teams that, for example, where quarterback would have to get fit in. You had to kind of work around that. So right now, for example, let's say everyone but one team but 2 teams don't keep a quarterback. Well, literally, they don't have to draft. They don't have to even worry about drafting a quarterback till the last pick if they want, because no one else is going to be able to take one. So those are some of the pros and cons I came up with. So I do, like I said, I apologize for not taking this more seriously. Here are some options I should have come up with. So one option I should come up with is, if you guys want to reduce the quarterback, we just have 2. And that's all you can carry the whole year is just 2. This way, it allows for it eliminates a lot of the cons I just came up with. Another thing that we should have considered, if we're going to go down to one quarterback, we should have probably considered dropping players on our roster. So instead of carrying 24, maybe we should only have 22 now, because that would at least alleviate the running back, the shortened amount of running backs and receivers. So these are kind of my thoughts. I know both of you did vote yes on this. In retrospect, what are your thoughts? And go ahead, whoever first.
I'll go first. I would completely change my vote on this. I liked this league, and I came into this league when Eric explained it to me, because it has the dynasty aspect, but it's not a clear-cut dynasty league where you can plan for your future, but you're not locked into your entire 24-man roster every single year. You can get rid of your aging players a little easier than you can a true dynasty. With this new rule, yes, I have Justin Herbert. I have an up-and-coming quarterback. I don't need to look to the future. But somebody like Eric, I felt bad for Eric because he went out and got Brady last year and then went out and traded for both of his quarterbacks he traded for. And then he just had to let him go. And I don't think that's right. Guy, he planned for his future. I mean, he had two of the arguably top 6 quarterbacks in the league. 4, okay. I was kind of throwing Kyler in there. And he had to trade one away. Granted, he's been trying to trade one away for a little bit to try and get some draft capital for a strange trade he made. But I think it hurts the league more than helps it. Yes, there's more quarterbacks available, but this is the way I look at it. Somebody that has the 15th, 16th, 14th even quarterback in the league, they can look at that and say, oh, Kirk Cousins is playing like trash. I'm going to pick up Tua. Then the next week and say, oh, Tua played like crap. I'm going to pick up Justin Fields. And do that every single week. I mean, it's a strategy, but it's not a good strategy because you're still putting in a bad quarterback. So you can... I mean, it's... I don't know how else to explain it.
And to piggyback off that, so like what the scenario you just gave, so when people go to add when it's during a bye week, so now you would have to wait potentially to pick, because more likely they're going to be one of the top available, at least available players. So now all the teams that are on bye week got to circumvent that and go around because they're not going to be able to get them right away. So they're going to want to get the best one available. So you still might end up where you would get a better quarterback. You're getting maybe a mid-20 quarterback.
I think kind of what Tony said regarding the league. When I came into it, it was interesting because the rules and scoring were very different from the other leagues that I'm in. So I do several leagues a year. I mean, probably between 4 and 7, I would say, the most part. So the other leagues I'm in are very straightforward, normal, standard scoring, standard rosters and everything. So a little bit of difference, some of the challenge is why I like this league. When that rule was introduced, I was like, oh, that's interesting. One quarterback, so like, to me, I was just kind of thinking in my situation where I had Mahomes and Burrow. I was already going to be trading Mahomes, more likely, or at least one of them. So to me, it didn't. At first, didn't really bother me because like either way, I'm going to be trading one of them and keeping the other. What I didn't consider, till a couple days later, I was kind of thinking about it, was then there's going to be, every team's going to have 1 or 2 extra spots you're going to be using on running backs or receivers, where those positions are going to be a little more hard to draft, and there's not going to be as many to choose from throughout the season. I thought about that, and then kind of Eric's situation where he used draft capital on a quarterback that he's probably not going to be able to keep or may not keep than other people that may be in that situation. And plus the idea of it's not a full-on dynasty, but it's kind of nice to be able to like build your team. Because like, when I started, I had Russell Wilson on my team. Moved him, ended up getting Mahomes. I drafted Burrow. I had...
You drafted Mahomes, didn't you?
Yeah. Drafted Mahomes. I had Herbert for a while last year before I traded him, but I had a good quarterback players rostered. So I could use those to move on, trade them, or you never know what injuries are going to happen. Like last year, if I just had one quarterback, or the year before, one quarterback was Burrow, and he got hurt, then I have to pick. I go from like a top 5 quarterback down to what's left is going to be, a top 16 through 20-ish, maybe. And so that's a big difference in your quarterbacks usually. So I just think maybe it's a little extreme. I'm not sure if I'm completely opposed to it. It's just after thinking it through, I think that there's more cons came to mind than I thought there were at first, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I just thought of this. Say, I'm the 3rd seed, and, I'm competing for the playoffs, right? All of a sudden, Justin Herbert goes down. Because it's on the bye week, all I got is Mitch Trubisky to pick up. He's the best available quarterback for me. I go from top quarterback in the league to Mitch Trubisky. I lose in the playoffs because of that, because I couldn't draft a second quarterback that could get me through a week. Trubisky's not going to get me through the playoff, or not a week, but get me through the rest of the season. Trubisky's not going to do that.
So my mindset is this, the first thing I'm like, because I know when Kyle, I think if I remember, had posted something about maybe we should look at revoting on this. And I know one thing that a lot of people have, they're not always excited about, maybe we shouldn't do we did a vote, and there's a lot of things that people vote on, and then they go back and they say, well, maybe if it's not for the betterment of something, it should get revoted on. So I have a couple mindsets. I'm not fully sure if I want to go through with this revote or not, just for that reason. I don't want to I don't want to really create waves. I'm just trying to look at what's best for our league. So one mindset I had is it sounds weird, and I have to really ponder on this and talk to other people and see if it's, a good idea or not. But one thought was to have a vote to do a revote. And if we did the revote, because I think doing the whole idea of the eliminating quarterback isn't horrible, but I think we should just go to the 2 quarterbacks instead of just cutting it all the way down to 1. What do you guys thought on that? I mean, do you think just going to 2 quarterbacks? Because this way everyone's guaranteed a starter.
Let me clarify. 2 starting quarterbacks.
Well, it's not going to matter. You're going to carry 2 anyways. You wouldn't be able to carry a 3rd quarterback.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, if you choose to have your second quarterback as a starter or not, it's up to you. Because there'd be 32 quarterbacks taken.
So essentially, if you're investing on your future and have a rookie quarterback, say Kenny Pickett, he might not start right away, but you draft him. You're gonna have to go with just 1 starter if you want to stay with that rookie. Yeah. Where the old rule was you could have 2 starting quarterbacks with a rookie exception.
Yep.
The rookie exception would go away, is what you're saying.
Right. You would have a cap. You could only carry 2 quarterbacks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Before it was that same way, but there was a rookie exception. So the rookie exception would go away.
Also, I think with that mindset, I would also propose that if we did that, and let's say we just wanted 2 quarterbacks, I would also strongly consider that we cut our roster from 24 to 23. And then this again, it'll help the receiver running back situation for sure, because that's less players that people can carry. And so when it comes to when those running backs and receivers get hurt or whatever, you'll have the ability to pick up something more decent. You know, like there hasn't been there have been teams that have lost games because their quarterbacks didn't play, but those in almost every case was their quarterback got hurt in game. It wasn't like they didn't have a quarterback at all to play with. Unless I'm wrong on that. I mean, all the games that we had where a quarterback didn't play, it means they got hurt in game, and they just didn't play much in that game. So like I said, I really want to ponder this and talk to some people, and I really do want to do the revolt, but I just don't know. I don't want to shun people away either. You know, we're fortunate we got 2 new people coming to the league, Ian and Brady. You know, and on the revolt, we'd get their input as well, which would be nice. See their thoughts on it. You know, like I said, I should have taken this idea under more consideration and with more seriousness. So for that, I do apologize. And anyone that voted yes on it, you know, there's nothing. It's not trying to upset anyone about that either. Just we need to think of, you know, everyone, not just our situation. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe you do have like Justin Herbert. I mean, we got 14 game regular season. He's gonna play Justin Herbert 13 to the 14. You know, it's like, I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling on now too, but I just don't like this rule. I really don't. So, like I said, I'll talk with some people, and I hope all of you watch this video. Feel free to text or call me or whatever. Give me your thoughts on it, and we'll go from there. Like I said, there's no in stone that I'm gonna say let's do a revote, but it is something that I would like to strongly consider doing. But to do a revote, I would actually have us do a vote to revote, if that makes sense. I just don't want to, like, I mean, here's the thing. We had, because we lost, we only had 14 teams available for the meeting because we had lost 2 that day. So the vote, instead of normally you had to have 9, so you only had to have 8 to pass on that situation. And we had 8, you know, and he already said that he would consider changing his vote, and I have a feeling he would consider it to change your vote because you both voted yes on this. You know, and also, and then also in fairness, I know there's, you know, like some people made moves because of this rule, so they might not want to do the revote either. I like to think everyone that did make a move, myself included, in regards to trading away a quarterback, did get adequate compensation in your eyes. So reach out to me, let me know your thoughts on this, and stay tuned. We'll have to get, if we do this revote after, so I have to do it quickly, before, you know, because we have June 1st is when the keepers are due. You know, the last thing I want to do in this, though, is I don't want to see anyone leave our league because of this. Any other thoughts, guys?
Not really. I think, you know, there's, with being the main, with being our commissioner, you have to deal with a lot of things, and I don't think this isn't meant to upset anyone or cause like a lot of, you know, anger towards you, because it shouldn't. It's just a game we play. Like, I think it was interesting change, but maybe it was just taken too far. Maybe we should have started at going to 2 quarterbacks, and then if anyone felt more comfortable, like, yeah, we can just go to 1 later on. Something we could do, but maybe just jumped too far, or because in this league we want to try and keep it as a realistic as we can in roster building terms, then nowhere is there a team just have 1 quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's kind of things came to mind after the vote. I wish maybe we should have put off the vote from that day. Plus, with the 2 new members, is it fair to them to not have a say in the vote when they joined up? So they joined And
after
then
after the vote.
Yeah. So there's just little things like that. Maybe it's just maybe not the best time to have changed things that drastically.
Yeah.
Or maybe you just had more time to think it over first before having to vote.
Like I said, I didn't think fast enough on the. I just kind of like when his idea of having the realignment. I came up with options for that because I thought that was actually a viable thing that was going to change. I really did. Whereas immediately at the quarterback, I told Jimmy, because it was his idea, that I would present it for sure, which it was presented, and I really thought it would be like a slam dunk. No, and it obviously wasn't. So again, this isn't made to upset anyone. This isn't, and at the end of the day, if we choose not to, if there's no revote or anything like that, then we'll just revisit it at our next meeting. But I just don't want to see someone's season go, down the toilet because of something that I don't know if it really benefits our league or anyone in our league necessarily. That's just my thoughts. Any last closing? I know he gave his piece.
No, I got.
Okay. So I hope you watch this whole thing and consider everything that's been said and reach out to me and just let me know your thoughts. If you would like to see a revote, let me know. And then I can, I will definitely present that. So signing off, take care everyone. And remember, June 1st by 5 p.m. is when your 10 keepers are due. And we'll try to get this situation resolved before that, of course. So take care. It's not bad. It's not even a half an hour.